Hello, BodyTrack family. So I hope everyone is staying safe out there. I know there's a lot of craziness going on. I'm understanding a lot of people's concerns with, leaving the house, stepping into the gym, everything like that. So I wanted to make some workout videos. This way you guys can follow along, do some things at home. Again, these are some things that can be done with no weights whatsoever. So first video today is gonna be very basic. Again, no weights at all. Now you are more than welcome to add weights to these using anything around the house, water bottles, canned goods, laundry detergent, bags of potatoes, things like that. Of course, if you have weights at home, feel free to add in those. But again, for those that do not have weights at home, you can add in any of these things to add on the weight. Now, I would say you can try this the first time, do it with no weight, and go from there. If it's easy, add on from there. And like I said, no weights necessary, but feel free to if you would like. Now, for these videos, you should already be warmed up at the start of the video. So just like our sessions in here, try and get some cardio in ahead of time, whether it's a walk around the block, a jog, a run. If you have an elliptical or stair stepper at home, hit that. You can wear these heart rate monitors outside of the studio. I know most of you already know that. On the MyZone app, you can follow along with how you're doing with the heart rate monitor, and these will track everything you do outside of our studio. So go ahead, use that monitor and see how you did during your workout. Now, after you complete the workout, let me know if you do need anything altered. Now, there are going to be some things like push-ups where there might be some of you with wrist injuries where it might be a little tough. Those with knee issues, nothing here is really that crazy, but some people with the extreme injuries or whatever it might be might not be able to do the lunges. So let me know if there's anything that you do need altered because of injury. Otherwise, I'll kind of go in at the end how you can make these harder, but as with any of the exercises we do, it can be made harder by a slower tempo or adding in pauses, things like that. So I'm going to kind of run these typically how we do our sessions at BodyTrack, where we're going to go through each circuit 3 sets. Now I am going to have 4 exercises as part of each circuit. Now I'm basically going to start off each set very basic, and then the second set through, add on to it. And then when I get to the third set, add on to it then. So at the end of it, I'll kind of tell you what to do if you get through this entire thing and it was just super easy. Again, it can only be so difficult as a home workout with no weights. You guys are used to pushing weight in here, especially I know Raph is the weight crusher. So you guys are used to doing a lot of these exercises with weights. So keep in mind, this is pretty basic, a one-size-fits-all workout, but we can add on to it different ways. So for now, let's just go through this workout, rock and roll. If I do mess up, I'm just going one straight shot through, so bear with me. We're just gonna rock straight through this video. If I mess up, we're just gonna keep rolling. So without further ado, let's start you guys' workout here. So again, this can be done at home with no weights. I would say if you have an area that is carpet or rug, I would do it there. Really the only equipment you're gonna need at some point when we get to our last circuit is going to be a platform, an elevated platform. Now that could just be a chair from the dining room. So I will say, make sure you have something that is secure. We're gonna be doing step-ups on this chair. So I don't want you trying to step up on this chair and sliding out of there. So make sure whatever platform you have is secure. Otherwise, for the first couple circuits, this is something that you can do on the carpet. If you are doing it on concrete or tile, grab a towel. If you have a yoga mat, something like that, just to give you some more cushion. But here we go. We're going to get it rocking. First circuit, first exercise, we're going to go body weight squats. So we're going to rock through 20 squats here, nice and easy. Dropping it down, driving through those heels. As always, we want to sit back into our squat as we're doing these. We don't want those knees to go forward like this, no toes off the floor. The weight sits back and we're driving through the heels. Weight is sitting back, driving through the heels. So nice and easy here as we go through 20 squats. Now, I'm not counting, so if I don't match up exactly 20, give me a break here. So again, this is one of those that would be easy to add on weight by holding something in front here. Otherwise, 20 squats there. Now, second exercise we're gonna go into here, mountain climbers. Now, a lot of people that work out with me know I like to do these slow, under control here to really get that tension in the core. So we're up on the hands, we want our shoulders straight over the wrists here, core is engaged, we're up on our toes, and all you're gonna do is kick the knee in, back, and alternate. Back, in, and back. Really keeping that core engaged, getting that small pause up at the top here. I'm not looking for you guys to fly through here. Nice, slow, under control. We're gonna go 10 each leg, so 20 total mountain climbers here. 10 each leg, alternating, nice, slow, under control there. Now, third one, we're gonna go into our glute bridges. So, nice and easy here, head and shoulders are relaxed on the floor. The feet are pretty close to the bottom here, arms are just out to the side. We're driving through the heels, squeezing those glutes and hamstrings at the top. Before we bring it down, let's come all the way to the floor and get right back up into it. Squeezing at the top each time. Small hold right now. We're gonna get into a further hold later, but right now we're gonna go through 15 reps with a nice small hold at the top each time before we bring it down. Squeezing at the top, we're keeping the core engaged, looking to keep a nice neutral spine here. I don't want to round up here, kind of keeping my shoulders down. Everything as far as my spine should stay nice and straight as I bring it up, squeeze, and bring it down. So again, I'm not counting, so if I'm going too fast with your numbers, pause the video, play the video, everything good like that. And the last one for our first circuit is crunches. So we're gonna go into 20 on the crunches here. Now, as I've talked to a lot of you about when we're doing these crunches, hands are either behind the head for neck support or right here. As long as the hands are behind the head, I don't mind, but just make sure we're not yanking on the neck. And our crunch is that small movement where we're just squeezing those abs before we bring it out. One of those for sure mind-body connections. If I'm just going through the motions here, I'm not gonna feel anything. Give me that pause right there, squeezing the abs before we bring it back. Squeeze the abs, bring it back. We got 20 crunches, rocking and rolling there. All right, guys, so moving on to our second set here. So again, we had the squats, the mountain climbers, the glute bridges, and the crunches. So first on the squats, we're gonna add in a 3-second pause at the bottom each time. So we're gonna go 15 reps this time. Each time you get to the bottom, give me a nice 1, 2, 3, drive through the heels. 1, 2, 3, drive through the heels. Now, as I've said to a lot of you, I want an Adam-approved 3-second count. Not a 1, 2, 3, back up. Nice, slow 3-second pause here. 1, 2, 3, driving it back up. Keeping that tension in the glutes and the quads as we come up. Slight bend in the knees. Bring it right back down. Never want to lock those knees out, all right, guys? 3 seconds. We got 15 reps. Now, onto the mountain climbers. We're going to go 30 this time. Same thing, alternating. Up on the hands, up on the toes. Drive that knee in and back. In and back. Squeezing that core at the top. Keeping everything under control as I'm pushing through here. So again, I want my shoulders straight over my wrists. I don't want to be back like this. We don't want that butt up in the air. Nice straight platform right here. Again, 30 reps, 15 each leg, alternating through nice slow tempo. All right, now onto the glute bridges. We're gonna go with a 3-second hold at the top each time here, just like we did on the squats. Head and shoulders down, drive through those heels. 3 seconds at the top. Now as you come down again, tap, get right back up into it. 3 seconds at the top, tap at the bottom, right back up into it. So again, I do want you to come all the way down just to make sure we're getting that full range of motion. A lot of times when people don't come all the way down, they start to shorten it here. Yeah, that's gonna keep the tension, but I want that stretch before we get back up into it. 3 seconds, squeezing the glutes and the hammies before we come back down. Keeping that core under control. We got 15 reps with a 3-second hold at the top each time. Do not cheat that hold. And after that, right back into our crunches. We got 20 reps here. So again, we don't have to think of a certain number of seconds for this hold at the top, but I'm squeezing those abs.
We need that contraction at the top to get the abs working, rocking and rolling there. So again, this time 20 on our crunches. Boom. Boom. All right. So after that second one, let's get into the third round here. Again, squats, mountain climbers, glute bridges, and crunches. We're gonna add on to most of these. For the squats, we're gonna start off 12 with that 3-second hold and 12 kind of straight through. So again, as we're doing these, we get down to the bottom. 3 seconds, I'm driving up, keeping that slight bend, get right back down into it. I got 3 seconds at the bottom, drive up through the heels, right back down. 3 seconds. So again, we're pushing all the way through. 12 reps here. At the end of our 12 reps, we're gonna get right into 12 with no pause, really making sure we keep that bend in the knees, dropping right back down into it. That's gonna, again, keep the glutes, the quads, the hamstrings engaged the entire time throughout. 12 with the 3-second pause, 12 without the 3-second pause. All right, now we're gonna do something similar for our mountain climbers here. So, let's get it set up the same way, and we're gonna start off the same way with our nice slow tempo. We're gonna bring these in, we're gonna do 10 each leg. Nice slow tempo, keeping that rocking. So we got 20 total reps here. Right as I finish through, without coming down, I'm gonna go right in to 20 faster ones. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, 10 each leg. Right after the 20 slow, under control reps, dropping it right into 20 faster ones, kind of getting that heart rate up, rocking and rolling there. Now the glute bridges, we're gonna do the same thing we did for the squats. So, get set up again, head and shoulders down, arms out to the side, drive through those heels. We're squeezing up at the top here. We got a 3-second hold before we bring it back down. Drive up through those heels. We got a 3-second hold, and we're bringing it back down. So we're gonna go to 12 reps here. 12 on the glute bridges with a 3-second hold each time. And right at the end of the 12 reps with the hold, we're going right into 12 without the hold, keeping that tension. Tap, boom, tap, boom. Exploding through the heels, really shooting those hips up high. Like I say to a lot of you guys, I want you to touch the ceiling with your hips. This is doing us no good. Get those hips nice and high, rocking there. And then the last one, 20 crunches again. Keep everything under control. Boom, and back. Squeezing the abs, and back. Just like everything else here, guys, we don't want to be using momentum. The abs are moving us up, mind-body connection, focusing on crunching, not just throwing those shoulders up in the air. Nice small crunch, squeeze the abs, back nice and easy. We got 20 reps there, and then we are done with our first circuit. So I'm gonna give you guys a little time. I'm gonna grab a drink of water. All right. So again, if you're not ready yet, pause the video, do what you gotta do. Like I said, no, I'm not doing the full amount of reps here, but you can pause it, play it when you're ready, but we're gonna get on to circuit number 2. So, first one of this circuit is gonna be reverse lunges. So we're gonna be alternating here. I'm gonna show you our side view. As always, when we do these reverse lunges, I want you guys to take a nice big step backwards, down, and we're gonna drive through that front foot through the heel. I'm gonna come up, switch legs back, down, drive through the heel. Now, I know a lot of times people with knee issues come in right off the bat and say, I can't do lunges. A lot of times that may be the case, but also a lot of times they can. The reverse lunges are a good way to be able to really focus on that front leg without the momentum that comes a lot of times from that forward stepping lunge. The reverse lunge is gonna take some pressure off. So even if you are someone with the knee issues, try it out. If we've done these before, awesome. And if you need, you could always hold on to something to help for assistance. There's a wall, there's something that can kind of take the pressure off the legs a little bit, off the knees a little bit, and allow you to focus on the glutes, the hamstrings, and the quads here as we're driving through. So again, I'm gonna be stepping back, driving through that front foot through the heel. We wanna think of being nice and light on this back foot. It's all coming through our front foot. Really just focusing one at a time, back and up. We have 15 each leg. We got 30 reps here. Second one, I'm gonna go into some plank butt kicks. So plank position, normal as always. We want, again, the shoulders now over the elbows, and we want to be nice and flat here. So I'm going to roll forward so you can see what I'm doing with my feet here. All we're going to be doing is alternating. We're going to go 10 each leg. I'm going to kick back, squeeze the glute, come down, switch legs. Down and switch legs. Again, nice slow tempo here. I'm not rushing through. I'm not trying to kick through the earth here. Nice and slow. Squeeze the glute. Under control as I'm bringing it back down. I'm keeping that core engaged. I am not swaying at the hips as I do this. Everything is under control, nice and even. We're going through 10 each leg. We got 20 total reps on the butt kicks. All right, let's get into your first real upper body exercise here. Push-ups, everybody's favorite. So we're gonna go through 15 here. Now, again, almost every time I give people push-ups, they say, I can't do that. And then they pump out at least 10 of them. I want you guys to get 15 here up top. Big boy, big girl push-ups, coming up on the toes, no knees on the floor. We're coming down, driving through those, our palms. Down, drive through the palms. Now, we don't want those elbows flared out wide here. We don't want them to come out like that. We want them to stay somewhat tucked in here, not all the way in, but tucked in enough that we're protecting the shoulders. We're making sure the chest is doing the push here. So again, we're gonna go 15. Everything is nice and straight. No butt up in the air. Hips are down. Core is engaged as I'm coming down, and I'm driving up, staying in a straight line here. No hips down and no butt up before I push up. All right, guys, we're gonna rock 15 there. If you need a break at some point, take a break. I want 15 good push-ups. Last one we're going into, Russian twists. We're gonna do these with our feet on the floor here. So, just get into a nice comfortable position. You can have your knees bent. I want you to get a slight lean back here. We'll just have the hands in front. As always, slow, under control, twisting here. We're just rocking through, boom, boom, touch the floor. Everyone should be able to touch the floor while we're doing these. Not difficult enough yet where you're losing your balance, everything like that. We're just feeling that nice twist in our obliques and pushing through. So we're gonna go all the way through here, 15 each side, 30 total touches on the floor. All right, so that was our first round there, guys. So again, reverse lunges, plank butt kicks, push-ups, and Russian twists. So let's step these up a little bit now. First on the reverse lunges, we're gonna go all with one leg and then all with the other leg. So we're gonna do this to increase the fatigue on the one leg before we switch. So start off with your weaker leg here. If there's a weaker leg, worse at balancing, whatever it is, that's the leg we wanna start it up with. So back and up, driving through that heel. Back and up, driving through. As with all leg exercises, again, we want to keep that spine nice and neutral. So don't be leaning too far over here. A lot of times that comes with the rounding of the back. I want to make sure I'm nice and tall back and driving up. So we're going to go all 15 with one leg, and then we're going to move on to the other leg, which again would be our stronger leg, better balancing leg, whatever you want to call it. But we got that weaker one out of the way. That way, as we start to get tired, as we start to kind of lose the balance a little bit, we're at least working the stronger one. So it's gonna help us drive through this set without falling off. All right, so we finished 15 on one leg and then 15 on the other leg. After that, we got the plank butt kicks again. This one as well, we're gonna go all one leg first and then all the other leg. We're gonna go 15 of each. So, again, set up with the good form on the plank. I'm gonna show you from up here so that you can see. I want you to come down, tap, right back up. Tap, right back up. Squeezing that glute at the top, really important. As I said, with the crunches, we're not just moving to move. We want to think about the body part that we're looking to work here. Let's work out with a purpose, not just to move, but to get stronger. So we're going to go 15 with the one leg. Now, if you need a little break, you could take a break here. It is going to be a long time under tension as long as you're going with a slow enough tempo. After that, bring it back up, switch legs, boom, and up, boom, and up, boom, and up, small tap. Again, not trying to kick through the floor, keeping everything nice under control here, squeezing that glute at the top. We finished 15 with both legs there, and we got push-ups again. So second set, again, I want you guys to get 15. I don't mind if you take a break here, but give me 15 push-ups. When it comes to at-home workouts, because we don't have the weights, there are minimal amount of exercises that we can do to hit the upper body. Let's make the most of it here. So, if you get to that point where you're only getting 5 of them here, all right, drop it to the knees. On the third set of this, I'll kind of go over the form that I want you guys to do from the knees. But really, I want you guys to try and get all 15 up top here. We're on the feet, dropping it down, driving through the palms, down, driving up, down, driving up. So again, you see I'm not too far in with my elbows. I'm not too far out with my elbows. I'm at a nice comfortable position here. As I've talked to a lot of you about on the chest press, I kind of keep my arms maybe around 45 degrees when I do these push-ups, the chest presses. For me, a lot of times when I'm too far out, it bothers my shoulder, but it's different for everyone. We all have different flexibilities, motions for the shoulder joints. So do what's comfortable for you. But again, we're going through 15 good push-ups there. Last one, we're back at the Russian twists. Now we're just gonna go with our feet up. So same thing alternating here. Same thing touching the floor. Bringing those feet up in the air. Now you can cross them here. You can leave them out, whatever your heart desires. I don't mind. But tap the floor, tap the floor, tap the floor. So again, we're gonna go all the way through. 15 each side. Rocking 30 total Russian twists here. Keeping the core engaged. Now let me show you guys from this view. I do not want the legs flying back and forth. That's not doing us much good. I want this to be a nice core engagement, controlling our balance, stability, everything like that as we're doing these. Nice and slow, minimal movement of the feet as I'm going side to side here. None of this. Again, that's kind of momentum. We're moving. We're not staying under control. Working the abs. So 15 each side there, 30. Now we're on to set number 3. So again, we're gonna bump most of these up as we move on. We got the lunges, the butt kicks, push-ups, and Russian twists. So first for the lunges, we're gonna start off, same thing, one leg at a time. Let's get that weaker leg out of the way. Big step back, drive up through that heel. Big step back, drive up through that heel. Again, the front foot is doing all the pushing here. So I want you to go through 10 of these. Stepping back, stepping up. We're gonna go through 10, and then you're gonna bring that foot back, get in our position. As we get down, we're just coming boom, down and up, down and up. We're holding the position just straight down and up. Now you guys can see as I come up, I'm keeping that slight bend in my front foot in that knee. I am not extending here. That's gonna cause me to rock forward and rock backwards. I want this movement to be strictly down, up, down, up, down, up. So we did 10 stepping, and then we're gonna do 10 stationary with that straight down and up. So again, with the other leg, we're gonna move on, stepping back, stepping up, driving through that heel. Stepping back, down, driving up through that heel. So, this exercise was partly one of the reasons I decided to show you guys without my shoes on, because as we get back to these stationary ones, I find a lot of times people find a hard time getting through these because they kind of push the heel down on their back foot. So that's gonna restrict our range of motion here. If I'm down with that heel, I can only get so far before my back leg is saying no. So I want to make sure I'm up on my toes here. Again, it'll be a little harder to balance, but we're going to be able to get that full range of motion. Your glutes and your quads will thank you. See that back foot just on my toes here. All the weight is on my front foot on the heel. That back toe is just helping me balance. Down, up, as always. No hands on the legs here, that is cheating. Down and up, driving through that front foot through the heel. So again, we did 10 stepping and then 10 stationary. So we're gonna go similar idea on the butt kicks. So again, we're gonna go one leg first and then the other leg. We're in a plank, hips are down, back, down, back, down, back, down. Nice under control, squeeze in the glutes. We're gonna go 10 of them, and then I want you to bring it up here, and we're gonna do little pulses. Boom, boom, boom. Really just squeezing that glute, keeping that tension up high here for 10 there. Now again, if you need the break, go ahead, take a little break before we switch sides. Pop up into that plank, 10 right here, all the way down, all the way up, keeping those hips engaged, keeping the balance. After my 10 there, I get the leg up, boom, boom, boom. Rocking it with that tension up high there for 10 butt kicks there. So 10 all the way down, all the way up, 10 pulses, little movement there. Last one, we got push-ups here. Last one for the push-ups here. So again, I said I would go over the form if we do go down to our knees. So again, I want you guys to get 15 here. If you're good with push-ups, you're rocking through. If you want to do extra, please be my guest. Now, for those of you that gassed out on that last set, we go through, we can't do a push-up here, keeping good form. All we're gonna do is drop to the knees, bring the feet up, move your hands up just a little bit. That way, as we come down, we're keeping everything in line at the chest here. If I'm too far back, it's gonna kind of turn into a close grip push-up. And then of course, don't wanna be too far forward where my hands are up here and it turns kind of into a shoulder press like that. So as I get down to the bottom, my hands should be in line with the chest and I push up. And just like my normal push-ups, my body comes down and up with me. My hips are going down and up. I don't have my butt staying up in the air here. Hips are coming down and up. So last one is 15 reps again. Like I said, if those push-ups are getting too hard, you need that extra assistance, hit them from your knees, but keep that good form, guys. All right. Last exercise for this circuit is those Russian twists again. Now we're gonna go all to one side first. So I'm facing you so you can see. You're gonna go down to the side, touch the floor, stop in the middle, right back. Stop in the middle, right back. So we're gonna go down 15 to the one side, and then we're going 15 to the other side. So this is gonna make this harder in the sense that we're cutting out the momentum a little bit. We're not going all the way across to this last one. We have to stop and switch. Stop and switch. Again, cutting out that momentum a little bit. We're going 15 to one side and then 15 to the other side. So I'm gonna get water again. That is the end of our second circuit. So yes, if you guys are hearing I'm out of breath, this is tough to do while you're talking the whole time. So 1 second. All right. So for the last one, I'm just gonna turn this camera angle here. As you guys can see, this right here is my nice little chair. So if we don't have a chair you feel comfortable with that's gonna lock you in without, I go to step up and I have tile and it slides across the floor, you can use stairs. Go on maybe the second level of stairs, but we want some kind of platform for 2 of the exercises as part of this circuit. So the first one we're gonna do here is really gonna rock those insides of our legs here, those adductors. So this is one of those areas almost every female that comes in says, what do I do for this? It's one of those pesky areas. It's gonna be one of our secondary movers in a lot of these exercises, but this one is really gonna target it here. So those of you that I've done this with, I always start off with saying, get a super duper wide stance. It should feel kind of awkward how wide we are. Now, you shouldn't feel like you're doing a full split, but it should be awkwardly wide where if I went to do a squat here, I'm super limited in my motion. So from here, I want my toes mostly pointed forward, not out here. Mostly pointed forward. They're gonna have a slight point outwards, mostly forward. So from here, I really wanna stick, let me show you guys from here. I really wanna stick my hips back as I'm coming out to the side here before I drive up through this outside of my foot in the heel, outside foot heel. I'm coming down, I'm driving up before I come to the other side here. So again, really shoot the hips back, super important. If my hips don't go back, if they stay in line, look how far that knee comes forward, my heel comes off, no bueno for the knees. So, super duper wide here. I'm gonna shift those hips back and to the side. I'm keeping this leg straight, feeling a nice stretch in there as I push through here. Again, heel and outside of the foot, I'm pushing up and we're gonna alternate. Down to this side, push it up and alternate. Let's get that nice full push up. I'm not locking my knees out. I'm just getting up tall here before I switch sides so I can get that full range of motion every time, sticking the butt back. Shoot the butt back, most important part of this exercise to protect the knees here. Again, as always with leg exercises, no hands down here. It's cheating. Have them up. You can even have them down. This is one of those things, if you have two weights here, you would go down to the side or even one weight down like this, something like that. But let's just worry about getting the form correct here. One of those tough form exercises. Make sure we're doing this right. We're feeling it in the insides of the legs, right in there. Now, a little unconventional exercise here. Standing ab exercise to get our obliques in. A little bit different, a little jazzercise in here. I'm gonna have the hands up high, get a little bit of a wide base about shoulder width. Now I'm gonna kick my knee up high to the same elbow. So I'm gonna kind of do a crunching down motion towards that knee, back and switch. So I'm not just kicking the knee up while I stay up, I'm crunching down on the oblique here. Crunching down on the oblique here. Again, especially with ab exercises, we really want to focus on the exercise we're looking, or on the body part we're looking to work here. I really want you to focus. I should be working my obliques here. What do I have to do to feel this in my obliques? If I'm kicking this up, if I'm crunching down and I'm not feeling it in there, maybe I have to move forward a little bit with my arm. Maybe I have to just try and hold it there for a second. Whatever you got to do, let's feel it in those abs. Feel it right there in my obliques. And we're going to go through 10 each side here. Alternating, boom, 10 each side. One last thing with it, I kind of think about kicking my knee forward in front of the elbow as I do these, just a little bit. Not all the way up there, mostly to the side, but if anything, in front of my elbow, not behind it or in line with it. So now we're going to go to the 2 exercises where we need your bench here. So after that, we're going to rock into some step-ups. We're going to start off up top. As I've told most of you when we do step-ups, I want you to think of the top as the starting position. Another under control movement, a lot of times people turn this into a cardio exercise, which has its purpose, but we're looking to work the strength here in the legs. From the top, we're going nice and slow as we sit down towards the floor, and we're driving up just like lunges. The top foot, the heel, does all the work here. Minimal effort on that back foot. As I get down, I'm driving right back up through the heel. So one of the things I try to do when I do step-ups is not even put my whole back foot down. I'm keeping the tension in that front foot, and I'm not pushing through my heel on the bottom, or through my toes on the bottom foot. The front foot through the heel is doing all the pushing here. So I'm kind of standing in the middle of my box here. What we want to focus on is making sure our knee isn't too far past the toe here. So if I stand all the way in the back, my knee kind of goes forward in front of the toe. I want to be at a good enough point in my chair, whatever you're using, that we have a nice line here from my knee to my toe to my ankle, somewhere in that range where my knee isn't too far forward. So if you guys are using a higher a higher chair, you might be able to stand at the end there, and you might still be able to get that good angle for the leg. So we're going to go 10 with one leg here, and then 10 with the other leg. All 10 with one leg, then all 10 with the other leg. Nice, slow, under control, driving through that front foot through the heel. Last exercise in this circuit is dips. So this is one of those tough ones, especially for people with shoulder issues. But as always, let's try and focus on the form here. Think about the muscles we want to work. Mind-body connection is a strong, powerful thing. So we're right here on the edge of our bench. We're going to get those feet out a little bit. Now, I prefer you guys to do these with the legs mostly straight. That way, as we're bending as we come down and we're extending, pushing up, keeping those elbows nice tucked in, down and up. I'm making sure I'm not going forward and back here. No forward and back, straight down and up. When I do these, I try to at some point feel that bench, the end of this on my back. That's how I know I'm going down and up. You know, I have to look to the side. People a lot of times try to look to the side on this to check out their form. You should be able to feel if you're going straight down and up on these. So, like I was saying, I like your legs straight out as opposed to bent here, because a lot of times when we bend, we end up using those legs. You might not realize you are, you might not even try to, but it's going to happen. Human nature, as we get tired, we want to compensate. Keep those legs out to make sure the arms, the triceps, and the chest are doing as much of the work as possible. We really want to feel this in the triceps here, keeping those elbows tucked as we're going down and up. We're going to go 10 of these. So, again, this is one of those, like I said, with the push-ups. If this is easy, feel free to do more. For now, we're going to go through 10 of them. All right? Second set here, we're back on these adductors, those inner thighs here. We got that wide stance. Now this time we're going to go all to one side first, dropping those hips back, pushing up through that heel. Sitting the hips back, back, back. Drive up through the heel. Back. Driving up through the heel. So, again, big stretch in this leg, dropping it down, driving up through here. So for the second one, to make this a little more difficult, we're going to get all the work in one side first. I'm going down all 15 on one side here before I switch legs. So, again, now I'm moving to this side, sitting those hips back, keeping a nice straight leg on the back here, rocking down on my right leg, driving through the glute, feeling that stretch on the insides, 15 with one leg, and then 15 with the other leg. All right, second set of the standing obliques. We're just gonna increase the reps a little bit here. Instead of 10 each side, we're gonna go through 15 each side. So, got those hands up, back behind the head here. I'm not grabbing on or anything. They're relaxed here. Feet are about shoulder width out. I'm gonna kick that knee up, squeeze the obliques down, squeeze the obliques. Now, I know balance is not a lot of our members' strong suit. That's okay. If it takes a couple to get the balance, you're gonna be all right. If you lose your balance a couple times, you're gonna be all right. I trust you guys to not fall down doing something like this. Just keeping it nice and easy, squeezing the obliques. As we get that balance, we're getting that hold at the top. The squeeze, mind-body connection. What do I have to do to feel this in my obliques? I'm not feeling it here. Let me try and maybe go elbow to knee. Maybe that will be the better one. For me, the elbow just in front of the knee gets that point where I'm really rocking the obliques. We're going 15 each side this time here. 15 each side with those obliques. Back into the step-ups. Again, think of the top here as our starting position. We're gonna go 15 each leg this time. Back nice and easy. Drive through that heel of the top foot. Back nice and easy. Drive through the heel of that top foot. Down and up. So again, we're going all with one leg first before we move on to the other leg. We are going 15 with one leg before we move on to that second leg. 15 before we move on. Now, as always with the leg exercises, keep those hands up. We're not pushing down here. If it does get to a point, if your chair is too high, where you can't get all 15 with good form, if you're starting to do one of these guys where, again, imagine it's too high. If I have to do this before I can stand up, then I want you to try and hold on to something or break it up a little bit more. If you have to go 5 with one leg to keep that good form, and if 6 comes like this, let's switch legs, give that leg a break. Let's go through 5 on this leg, and then we can come back to it, blah, blah, blah. But let's shoot for 15 with one leg before we go to 15 with the other leg. Back it dips. So, start off on the edge of our bench, hands in front. Walk it forward, nice straight legs. Elbows are tucked in, straight down. Drive up through those heels. Straight down here. Drive up through those heels. Heels, palms. Sorry, we're not driving up through our heels. Don't push with the feet. Excuse me, this is where I would do the break, but we're rocking through it. Pushing through the palms of our hands. We're not pushing through the heels. So we're gonna go for 12 this time on the dips, trying to go a couple extra reps this time. Now let me show you the alternative exercise. If that's too tough, we're gonna go close grip push-ups. Yes, more push-ups from the knees. So you're gonna keep the elbows tucked in on this one to get those triceps involved. Elbows stay tucked in on this one to get those triceps in. So we're on the heels. The feet are crossed or not, whatever your heart desires, but keep those palms tucked in, pushing up with those triceps. Same rep range, first set 10, second set 12, but I really do want you guys to try the dips. Real nice one for the triceps there, and we're on set number 3. So, first we are at the adductors here. So, what we're gonna do to add on for this last one, we're gonna start off with the alternating on these guys. So, back, down, drive through the heel. Back, down, drive through the heel. Back, down. When I say back, as in the hips are going back, I'm dropping it down, dropping it low, driving through that heel. Again, back, driving through that heel. So we're gonna go through 15 each leg here. 15 each, rocking through, we get 30. Now you're gonna move those feet in a little bit. Still a wide stance, at least shoulder width apart. Now we're gonna open those toes and we're gonna drop it into our sumo squats. So I have this open stance here. Again, rocking those adductors. As I come up, keep that slight bend in the knees. Down and up. Down and up. We're going right into 15 there to really torch those adductors, those inner thighs. So again, the first one, we're wider out here. We move those feet in a little bit, still a wide stance with the toes pointed out. 15 each side on the alternating. And then 15 on the sumo squats. All right. For the obliques now, we're gonna go all to one side first before we switch sides. So we're gonna go all 15 to one side and then all 15 to the other. So, same stance, about shoulder width. Now we really wanna focus on getting that tension down, right back up into it. Down, right back up into it. You can even think of kind of getting a stretch before we come down. Stretch it out just a bit, boom. Kind of like we do when we do those side bends here. Similar idea where I really want you to focus on one side. Boom, stretch it down, boom, down, boom. We're going 15 to one side before we go into 15 to the other side, all right? Once you guys are done with that, I know I didn't do 15 each that time. Doesn't matter, moving on to our step-ups. Last one here, we're just gonna go straight up, same thing, 15 each again. We make this exercise harder by going slower as we go down before we drive up. The slower you go, the better it's gonna be. I promise you guys, if you go slow enough here, even with just body weight, you're gonna feel it in the glutes here. This is one exercise where I almost always myself do it just body weight. It's gonna be a great one for body control, just working on the balance as well as the strength. And this is absolutely a functional workout, stepping upstairs, things like that. Again, just having overall body control and balance, really just going nice and slow as we come down and driving up. Nice and slow, we're not letting gravity win this battle. We're kicking its butt, going nice and slow before we push up. So we're going all 15 on one leg, and then all 15 on the other leg. And we got one more set of dips here. Again, if you need to do those close-up push-ups, feel free to. Otherwise, for those able to, let's rock the dips. Kind of similar to what I was saying when we did the push-ups. If you need some breaks, take a couple breaks, but ideally, we're pumping out all of our reps here. For the last one, we're gonna go for 15. So I know we increased the reps each time. If that means 1 or 2 breaks, I'm okay with it, because let's get that volume for the triceps. Again, not too many upper body exercises that we are able to do here with just strictly body weight. So let's make sure we get to 15 dips there. If it gets too much, we got the close grip presses. You can take some rests, whatever you have to do, but let's get the 15 reps there. And that wraps up our third circuit. So I went a little bit longer than 30 minutes. You guys know I like to talk sometimes, but after that, we want to cool down and stretch. So again, if you need to pause this, go ahead, pause it. You can listen to me ramble on after. But after this, we want to do a little cool down, a little stretch, especially for those of you that are stretching in here. You know the importance of stretching. Even though this might not have been super intense workout, whether it be not as heavy weights as you were usually doing here, or not as much volume, whatever it is, you know, get a little stretch on, especially at this time when a lot of people are going to be sedentary, sitting around the house, not doing much. This might be your first time exercising in a week or two. Try and get some stretching in with everything. So I've talked to a lot of you about stretching. It's something we want to do when our body's warmed up. You don't want to do it. You don't want to get out of bed and stretch a lot of times. If you're holding a deep stretch, you're kind of more susceptible to injury. Then you are going to improve your flexibility. So after a workout is the best time to do a stretch. Other than that, if it was easy and you're doing this for a second time, if I haven't got out another video yet, or again, if you're just doing a second round of this, please feel free to just skip on to the third progression of each exercise, the third set, and do that 3 times. So as I mentioned at the beginning, for most of these, I started off easy. I added on for the second set. I added on for the third set. A lot of you that work out with me know I like to do that. I do that myself. I do that with you guys. So if it was super easy, feel free to just go on to set number 3 and do that for all 3 sets. So as opposed to adding on weights for the second time, that's something you can do to keep it body weight and try and increase the intensity there. Other than that, please feel free to reach out to me, guys. Let me know what kind of alterations you need. If the shoulders are hurting from the dips, if you can't do the push-ups, if the knees are a little too much, the knees are hurting on the lunges or whatever it might be, let me know. Or you guys are more than welcome. If you don't know if you're doing something right, shoot a video of you doing it and send it to me. Believe me, I am, you can ask Raph, I am always scared in front of the camera. I know how it feels to be in front. It's not the most comforting. I'm always nervous when I do it, but shoot a video, you can send it to me. That way I can check and see if you're doing it right. That is the problem a lot of times with online training, things like that. We don't know if you are doing it correctly, and that's one thing that we can watch when you're here, but when we're not here, you know, I just have to hope that everyone's doing it correctly, not at risk of injury. You know, last thing, for everyone out there not coming in, for those coming in, everything like that, just be safe. Again, a lot going on, a lot of scares out there. People are starting to get crazy as it's getting, as you know, we're getting more and more close to a quarantine or whatever you're thinking. Just kind of stay healthy out there. Make sure that we're doing everything that we can to stay as fit and in shape as possible. You know, again, there's always running outside, biking outside. Most of you have kids at home that you're thinking, what the heck do I do with these kids? Take them on a run, take them on a bike ride. Make sure we have proper nutrition during this crazy time. Water, vitamins, all that good stuff. I'll stop rambling now. I'm gonna let you guys go. Please let me know what you're thinking, and I will try and work on soon getting you guys another video. The next one, I'll kind of do do some more exercises, holding on to some of those household weights. All right, guys, stay healthy out there.